Anthony Nichols here from Meliah Rage. Now, you got a brand new album that just appeared, not long ago. Tell me about it, Masquerade.
Well, Masquerade, it brings back our original frontman Mike Monroe, which is pretty much 15 years in the waiting. That's what everybody wanted. We spent these 2 years making the record. We think it's pretty good.
A lot of power going on that album. It's like back in the old days, yeah.
That's what we do. It's not quite speed metal and probably a little faster than power metal, but we kept it pretty heavy.
So what's your recording process to get these songs, and how long does it take to evolve, Meliah Rage music?
Well, we do it a little differently than some other people. Usually I write all the music at my studio, and I just pass out CDs to the other guys and, tell them where their parts are. And, then we go from there. Then we do the drums to the demo, and then we re-record all the bass and the guitars. Then the vocals are there. And we had Rich Spielberg produce it, who used to play in Wargasm, if you remember them. And, we started a small studio and ended up at a big studio. But, yeah, this one took about 2 years to complete.
Comparing to the old days of recording, like, the Witching and all them songs, you say you guys are going back to the same style of recording?
I think the style's probably the same. The songs are a little bit longer. The recording technique is completely, because back then we actually had to rehearse everything, and you go into the studio and play it live. Now, again, with technology, you just, you don't even see the guys half the time, because, people record at different times, and it's all recorded on Pro Tools. But, as far as the sound, we definitely went back to the old sound with, the longer songs, and a little more aggressive than the previous two records.
Now, for the old sound, what you guys using amplifiers to get this sound?
We use Mesa Boogies and Marshalls. We go back and forth. Jim uses Mesa Boogie live. I've been using Marshall. I'm pretty sure we used Mesa Boogie on all the rhythm tracks in the studio and switched up on amps on the overdubs, but it usually goes between the two.
Do you still play the old guitars you had, in the Witching video?
Yeah, there's actually, if you've seen it in a couple of the videos, we have a purple Strat that says Meliah Rage on the headstock. That's actually recorded every single rhythm track on every Meliah Rage record. It's, usually we line up the guitars and see which one sounds best, and that one always sounded best for the rhythm guitars. So the guitars haven't changed on the records. We have a lot of guitars, but we end up using the same ones.
How big is your guitar collection, let's say, yourself?
It's not huge. I think I got 7. I hooked up with a bunch of Deans in the last few years. I got 4 Deans. Gibson Flying V, the original Charvel Strat, which is, 25 years old. It was an original Strat when they were made in California. Jim collects these. He's probably got 5 or 6 of these. Gibson and Dean.
So for videos, you guys foresee any live DVD in the near future?
I don't know. We've discussed that. The problem is they don't really sell anymore because of YouTube. We've discussed it with a couple of record companies, and 5 years ago it was an option, but right now, again, you put one out and they just don't sell because of YouTube. One gets out there and it's on YouTube, and so I think if anything, we might throw some bonus material on a record or something, but an actual live DVD, probably not.
Now, for tour dates, you guys got anything lined up for this summer?
Nothing this summer. I think we're going to do the U.S. in the fall, and we're going to Europe in the summer of 2011. I know the first date was already booked at the Headbangers Open Air, and it's outside of Munich, Germany somewhere. I'm not sure the city, but that's at the end of July in 2011, and they're going to book about 10 shows around that, so we'll probably do England, France, a few shows in Germany, and here and there, but we don't tour long, but we'll get out and do a few dates. But again, the U.S. this fall. Maybe Canada. I haven't been to Canada in a while.
Since The Witching, the famous song, you guys remember being played on Much Music at all with that song? On Power Hour?
Sure. I remember, I don't know if you know him or not, but Tim Henderson from BraveWords.com, he used to tell me all about that stuff. But yeah, everything goes back to Witching. That's the one song everybody seems to know.
That means you guys play that song every night live when you're at concerts.
No, actually, we haven't played it in a while, but we've been getting a lot of requests to do it, so I think we will add that in there.
Now that's interesting. Meliah Rage concert without the witching.
Well, it's the more records you get, the more tunes you got to choose from, and then it gets harder. But the demand for that song is high, so we're going to start adding that in. If we go out in the fall and next summer, it'll definitely be in the set list.
Do you guys, work on, promo videos at all? Because, you used to dominate with the videos.
We did a video for the new record, for the song Hourglass. It's on YouTube and on our website and all that stuff. It's a typical video, and there's also a CD trailer. It's like a 40-second trailer for the record. But yeah, there's a new video for. We've done one video for every record we've done, so I think there's about 7 videos. Yeah, and there's actually a full-length video for Hourglass. Again, that's on the website MeliahRage.com, and it's on YouTube and all the other stuff.
So do you find with YouTube and stuff like that now it's different to promote bands? Are you guys losing at all on this?
I mean, it's totally changed. It's cool that you have that option to promote it. But the negative is everybody does, and there's just so much out there to compete with. And in 1988, when we had a video on MTV, it was us and not a lot of bands. And it really made its mark. Nowadays, you put a video on YouTube, and it's cool, but you're competing with 10,000 other videos.
Ronnie Monroe from Metal Church days, singing on your album.
Yeah, Ronnie's a friend of ours. We toured with him in 2007 for a month in the U.S., and we get to know him pretty well. So when we were recording the new record, we asked if he wanted to make a guest appearance on a song, and we sent him a CD. He wrote the lyrics on it, and we flew him up for a couple of days, and that was that. But he's a good friend and will remain a good friend. And we've toured with Metal Church many times. We've always considered ourselves similar to Metal Church in style.
When you guys going to record another one? Or are you just going to continue promoting this for a while?
We'll promote this for another 6 months. Right now, we're actually remixing the album Barely Human. That was kind of our comeback record in 2004, and we recorded it pretty quick, and the material's strong and the performances are pretty good, but the mix is pretty lame. So we're going to re-release that as a remix. We're also going to do a cover tune and throw it on there as a bonus. We're going to do Halo of Flies by Alice Cooper.
Okay.
So that should be out in the next couple of 3 months. But after that, we actually are going to record a new album at the end of the year. We've got 14 new songs ready to go.
Do you have any unreleased songs from the old days that were never released? Like B-sides?
Not really. The only song that was never released in North America was the actual song Kill to Survive on the first record. It was on the record initially, but Epic Records pulled it off. The song was about an assassin, and they were going through their lawsuits with Ozzy and Judas Priest, and they pulled the song off. It's actually on the European version and the Japanese version, but it never made it on the North American release.
Any chance we'll see that in the North American release in the near future?
I don't know. It's completely out of our hands because Sony and CBS or Epic own the rights to that, and whatever they do with that stuff, we have no control over.
But that means no greatest hits packages coming anytime soon.
Probably not. And again, that's another thing. Like at live DVDs, they just don't sell that anywhere because greatest hits. People just make their own greatest hits now with downloading. That's pretty much a thing in the past. The greatest hits records. Maybe a bigger band where they might get some numbers out of it, but a smaller band like us, they just won't get the numbers. So pretty much going to confined to doing new records. That's it.
So what you've been doing these days, Anthony, for passing time and stuff, do you continuously work on guitars and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a home studio, so I'm always writing. I mean, I write a lot of stuff. So, again, I've got 14 new songs ready to go for another record. And, that probably came out of a batch of 40, and I whittled them down. I'm actually writing some music for a guy who does TV commercials, and he's looking for some metal riffs. I'm writing some stuff for him, but the primary focus is Meliah Rage songs, and I take my time with them, and I make sure they're right. And, I think we did a good job on Masquerade, and again, we'll be working on one this year.
Anthony, it's been a pleasure talking to you and promoting this album, Masquerade, and
okay.
Look forward to seeing this in the near future, the next one.
We'll have it by the end of the year, I'm pretty sure.